Hey guys, glad you stopped by. Cooking dinner, as always. It's Wednesday, and I'm beginning to think you stopped by because you just want to hang out with me and see what I'm having for supper, and I'll take it. Tonight we are going to do something that's pretty easy. I mean, it's really easy. There's just a handful of ingredients, and I actually added 1, 2, 3 ingredients to it. But I think it's going to be really good. It is an Italian sausage with broccoli and pasta, and it can be a pasta of your choice. I think they used rigatoni in the original recipe, but I'm using ziti pasta, which, if you don't know what it is, it's the tube-like pastas. Not the big fat round ones. I can't remember what they're called, but the skinnier tube pastas usually have lines going across them. Rigatoni is the spirals, but you can use any pasta you want. You can add and take away things. Yeah, this has got endless possibilities. They just give you a base, which I got this on Tasty. I don't remember the name of the person who made it, but I did read through the comments, and there were 231 of them, and pretty much everybody did something a little different. So there was really just a bunch to take away from. And it just sounded really good. So I thought we would try it tonight. Quick, easy, probably under 30 minutes, if not 30 minutes at most to do. Not a whole lot of prep work. I literally had to cut up some onions and press through some garlic. That was it. Mushrooms I had pre-sliced. So, bam, that was it, really. Anyhow, if you're new to my channel, this is your first video, welcome. Hope you get something out of this. Check out some of my other ones. Returning, new subscriber, thank you, welcome back. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. That's really important. I mean, it really is. So if you are newer to the channel, our end game for this year is to have our little community up to 5,000 people. I work trying to go from a neighborhood to a village. And I mean, we're getting there. 35, 33, the last I looked. That's amazing. But we still got a little bit of ways to go, right? About 1,467 more people, which sounds like a lot, but when there's over 8 billion people in the world, that's a drop in the well. So that's why that like, subscribe, share, comment, all that is very important. It gets us out there. Brings more people in that are like us. And comments, speaking of comments, I respond to all comments. If I see them, if I pop up and I look in like 8 different places, I respond to them. And the only thing I ask with comments is be polite. You don't have to agree, with me or anybody in the comments. Just be polite. And so far we all get along wonderfully. We play very well for being, 3,500 people. Although there's really not, it's not like 3,500 people comment. But, all I ask is you think before you type, be respectful. We all play well together around here so far, and I'd like to keep it that way. That being said, why don't we head on down here to the counter, and we will get started making this wonderful dish. Hold on for me just 1 second. Okay, so we're down here at the counter. Well, the stovetop and kind of counter, you can't really see it. If you are new to my channel, this is your first video, you're literally, behind you is a window and the back door to the deck. I have an uber small kitchen at the moment, but I'm hoping to change that eventually. We'll talk about that more later. So, things you will need. You'll need a Dutch oven or a stock pot, not a huge stock pot, but you want something that's got a heavy bottom to it, hands down, heavy bottom. That way your heat distributes evenly. I have learned over time, of course, you buy what you can afford, but you want to try to work your way up to good, solid equipment for your kitchen. I started out with cheap aluminum stuff, but as I've gotten older, I've gotten away from that stuff. The Teflon coated things like that. If you're using Teflon, get rid of that and invest in something a little better. Teflon is incredibly bad. And that's not my opinion, that's a scientific fact. It's cancer causing, it just does all kinds of stuff, but I'm not going to get on my soapbox with that. But you'll notice I have all cast iron, and there's a reason for that. Cast iron A lasts 1,000 years if it's even remotely close to being taken care of, and it doesn't have chemicals. It just has cast iron and carbon. But anyhow, so in my stock pot, and you'll need a spoon or something to stir with, I have 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and I've let that warm up. Now you will know if it is to where it needs to be because you will see it shimmering, dancing, and it'll start to smoke. And if I had a wooden skewer, I would show you, but if you have like a natural wooden skewer, it doesn't have like anything on it, you should be able to stick it in that oil and you'll see bubbles coming off of it. That's how you know it's warmed up. Those are 3 ways to tell. So to this, I am going to add, now the original recipe called for a hot Italian sausage. I got a mild Italian sausage. I feel between a couple of the other ingredients, or one of the other ingredients, and the mild, that will be more appealing to a broader audience. So I changed it to a mild. I'm going to put this in with my oil, and we're going to break that up just like such, and try not to burn ourselves in the process. But we don't want to stir it too much or it'll start sticking to the bottom. We want that sear on it. To this, I am going to add, I fine chopped 1 small onion, and I'm going to throw that in there. And then I have got 8 ounces of just diced up button mushrooms, plain old white button mushrooms like you buy at any grocery store, and I'm gonna put those in there. Now we're gonna go ahead and cook this up until that sausage is browned all over. It's cooked, and the onions are, a little golden, translucent, and the mushrooms have cooked down a little bit. All right, we are nice and browned, and our onions are cooked down, our mushrooms are cooked down. I'll bring it over to you real quick. Try not to burn my hands off along with my face with the steam. So, next thing we got to add to this is just a little bit of spice. Ain't nothing really crazy. In this little container here, I got 1 tablespoon of salt, a half a teaspoon of crushed red pepper, birdseed, chili peppers, whatever you like to call it. And then I've got a half a teaspoon of pepper. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. And then I'm going to add, I've got 3 cloves of garlic, medium to large cloves of garlic, that I ran through my press, or you can mince them however you'd like to do it. Or you can chop them up. I mean, it's up to you. And I'm going to throw those in. And then I'm going to let this cook for about another minute, just to kind of let all that stuff get to know everybody. Now you want to stir it. You don't want to let it just kind of sit, just because that garlic, if it gets to the bottom and sits there and burns, it's going to be really bitter. So we've let everything get to know each other, right? The salt, the pepper, the crushed red pepper, the garlic. It smells amazing. I can smell the mushrooms, I can smell the onion, I can actually smell everything that's in this pot, which is crazy. So the next thing we're going to add to this is 4 cups of chicken stock or chicken broth, whatever you have available. Like we make our own. So, and I know that's 1 quart. So if you buy a box, if you buy the box stuff, it would be 1 box worth. Go ahead and give that a good stir real quick. And then we're going to take 1 pound of noodles, 16 ounces, 1 box basically, of noodles. We're going to put this in, and we're basically going to cook this for what it says. Basically the noodles say on the back of the box. So, and in this case, it's 9 to 10 minutes. But we're looking to get them tender. And about halfway through this, well, I'll show you when I come back. We'll come back halfway through. But we want to bring this up to a simmer, and we want to keep stirring it. Because we want this to not stick to the noodles, not to stick to the bottom. And we're looking to get these noodles to soak up that chicken broth, not just, it's not a soup. It's just noodles, sausage, and your vegetables in this. But we're going to go ahead and get this going. All right, so we are about halfway through our cooking time. We got 5 minutes left. So now we're going to put in the other star of the show, and that's the broccoli. So we waited to do this because, and I've got, 1 pound of broccoli florets. It's just the tops of the broccoli, right? Now, I mean, and it called for fresh broccoli. And like I said, broccoli doesn't take that long to cook. Because you just want to kind of heat it up. You want a little bit of crunch to it. Excuse me. So we want our noodles tender, but we want our broccoli to have a little crunch to it, right? So we don't put it in right away, because what happens is if broccoli cooks too long, it becomes mushy. So now we're just going to go ahead and let this finish cooking, and we're going to let it cook until the noodles are tender and they've pretty much soaked up all the sauce, or all the chicken broth and whatnot. Alright, so our 10 minutes is up. Go ahead and I'm going to pull out a piece of this pasta real quick and check it, make sure it's done. I'm just going to cut it. If I can cut it with this, and I could cut it with this wooden spoon, you know it's done. I can see my broccoli is looking good. It's bendable, which tells me that it's where it needs to be. You should be able to pick up your broccoli and it should bend. I don't know if you can see that or not, but see how I can bend it? That tells me it's warm. That's all we wanted it to do. You don't want to overcook broccoli. It becomes mushy. It starts to lose its good qualities. So we got that done. All we want to do now is turn that off. I'm going to take it off the heat. I have a half a cup of grated parmesan right here. We're going to go ahead and sprinkle that in. We're going to give it a good stir, just like such. Get that nice and incorporated in. That way it can melt and become part of the family. Now, all we're going to do now is we're going to let this sit here for a few minutes, about 5 minutes or so, and calm down. I don't know if you can see the steam coming off of it, all that stuff, but it is blazing hot. I'll bring it up to you so you can see it at least. See what we've got accomplished so far. There is what we've got going on. That's our good looking, that's what we got cooking. So we're gonna let that sit there for about 5 minutes, and when I come back we'll serve some up and give it a taste. Alright, I'll see you here in a second. Alright, we have cooled down. Well, respectively, it's still got a bit of steam going to it, but I'm hungry and it's been almost 10 minutes. So we'll go ahead and get us some loving in here. Now, this recipe said that it made that the specific amounts were for 4 servings, 4 people. I'm here to tell you that those are some big servings for 4 people. I'm just here to say, but that's all right. Leftovers are always acceptable, hands down. But there we are. Yeah, see that 10 minutes, and look at all that steam rolling off of there. That looks just fantastic. It smells good. I'm not hating on any last bit of that, and I really don't have a clue as to what it tastes like. I did get a little bit of the sauce, for lack of a better term, on my finger, and it had good flavor. It tastes just like everything that's in this dish. But I don't know what its taste is. So, like I said, it looks great. It smells phenomenal. My house now smells like garlic and onion and Italian sausage and olive oil and all that. Now, it is recommended that we top with a little bit of parmesan, for garnish. So I will grab me a little bit of grated parmesan and we'll put it on for garnish. So it'll look just like that. I think that looks, amazing. And now we'll give it a try, because that's what I want to do. Maybe if I can get a little bit of everything on my spoon. Well, we'll start with the sausage and the pasta, and then I'll sneak back in there for a piece of broccoli. That is really, really good. The pasta is perfect. It's just nice and tender. It's not mushy. That broccoli has just the slightest bit of crunch. Now, with the bird seed, or the red peppers, that due to your own liking. Because at that half a teaspoon, it does have a little, just the littlest hint of a bite. I don't think it's horrible at all. I think it is well balanced with the rest of it, but that may not be to your liking. You may, you don't even have to put it in there for that matter. You can always substitute it with something else or omit it altogether. Maybe a little more pepper. I was worried about the salt. It's not salty, and I even add salt to my chicken broth when I make it. So, not a lot, but like an eighth of a teaspoon, I think, per quart. Or no, a quarter teaspoon per quart, eighth of a teaspoon per pint, but anyhow, getting sidetracked. But it's not. It's a nice, perfect blend. And what little bit of that broth that was left that mixed in with the parmesan turned it into a really nice, just very light, creamy sauce that just gives everything a nice coating. Definitely give this a try. It takes less than 25 minutes to make, start to finish. It's all in one pot. This would be an amazing weeknight meal, or you get a phone call saying people are coming over. Family, friends, neighbor, guy walking his dog down the street. You could have this ready in no time. Let me know if you do try it. Leave me a comment down below. I would be curious, or if you do something different, or something close to that, but add different vegetables or whatever, that would be fun to talk about too. I just love to have conversation. That's what makes the world go around. You won't be disappointed in it. For dessert tomorrow, I don't know. I don't know yet. I am, in a way, really wanting to do the maple syrup bacon cheesecake. I think I finally got it figured out, but at the same time, one of our friends here in YouTube neighborhood, Charlotte, came up with or sent me this brownie bread dish that just looks out of this world and so unhealthy. So I don't know. We'll be doing something that's probably not good for you. A lot of sugar and really, really good. So, till tomorrow for dessert, I love you. I love you very much, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Tell somebody else you love them, and that you love them very much. It's gonna make them smile. It's gonna make them feel good. They may even need to hear it that day. It's gonna make you feel good and smile, tell them, guarantee it. And if you make them some of this broccoli and sausage pasta, they are gonna know that you care, and it's gonna lead to hours of conversation and full bellies. So, till tomorrow for dessert, I'll see you then. Love you. Bye.